Let us take up what a sonnet is. A sonnet is a 14-line lyrical poem in iambic pentameter. Its rhyme can follow any one of the following two main patterns. It can be a Petrarchan sonnet, which has two parts and octave, that is of 8 lines, and it rhymes like ABBA, ABBA, and a sestet, which is of 6 lines, and it rhymes like CDC, CDC, or CDE, CDE. This form was used by John Milton and William Wordsworth. Then we have the Shakespearean sonnet, which has 3 quatrains and a concluding couplet. This rhyme scheme is like ABAB, CD, EF. These 3 form the quatrains, and then we have the concluding couplet GG. Spenser also used this form. Some Elizabethan poets wrote a sonnet sequence. For example, we have Shakespearean sonnets. He has written about 154 sonnets, out of which some are addressed to Earl of Southampton, his patron, and others are addressed to a dark lady. Then we have Sidney's Astrophel and Stella, which is like a very long poem, a sonnet sequence. And we have D.G. Rossetti's House of Life. John Milton's sonnet on his blindness is a typical example of Italian or the Petrarchan sonnet, and William Shakespeare's sonnet addressed to Earl of Southampton, Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? These are good examples of English sonnets. Now, as far as the etymology of this word is concerned, this word is derived from Italian word sonetto, which means a little song. Many variations have been added in rhyme scheme by Milton, Spenser, and others. The function of a sonnet is to give an ideal setting for a poet to explore strong emotions. It can be managed easily by the reader and the writer. There have been certain variations that have been introduced into this literary form, into this literary genre of poetry. In India, many Urdu poets have composed sonnets like Akhtar Shirani, Wazir Agha, and Zia Fatehabadi. Next, we take up another literary term, which is an ode. An ode is a long and elaborate lyrical poem that is elevated in style and is often written to praise someone or to mark an important occasion. The form originated with the Greek poet Pindar, who wrote odes in honor of the winners of the Olympic Games. Pindaric odes were regular in structure, and the irregular ode was a later day variation. For example, we have William Wordsworth's great ode, Intimations of Immortality. Romantic poets in 19th century, they perfected the personal ode of description, which had some natural scenes also and a passionate meditation to solve some human problem. For example, we have P.B. Shelley's Ode to the West Wind and John Keats' Ode to Autumn, which are the fine examples of English odes. The third form of odes is Horatian, and these kind of odes were private expressions. Most odes were sung to the accompaniment of a musical instrument called a lyre. A similar form exists as qasida in Persian poetry, which was gradually replaced by shorter ghazals. Other examples include Ode to a Nightingale by John Keats, and then we have Ode to Wine by Pablo Neruda. Let us take up another literary term, which is a lyric. A lyric is usually a short personal poem expressing the poet's emotions or thoughts. It was a song sung over a lyre. The lyric is generally uttered in the first person. In many lyrics, the speaker is an invented character who may be very different from the actual poet. A lyric can be a brief expression of a mood or state of feeling. For example, we have P.B. Shelley's lyric Tonight, or it can be a complex expression like an elegy and an ode. Lyrics carry emotion, subjectivity, melody, imagination, and description. Spenser wrote lovely songs in his Shepherd's Calendar. In ancient Greece, poetry was chanted by a choir of singers and which was later on perfected as song proper. Some practitioners are William Blake, P.B. Shelley, and Victor Hugo. Sonnets, odes, elegies, love poems, and dramatic monologues are various subtypes of lyrics. A lyrical poet addresses his audience directly by portraying his emotions. Let us take up another literary term, which is an elegy. Elegy is a poem of sorrow or mourning for the dead. It's a poem written in a grave, serious, and solemn mood to reflect over certain issues related to life. For example, we have Alfred Tennyson's great elegy In Memoriam, which he wrote on the death of his friend Arthur Henry Hallam. And then we have another elegy, W.H. Auden's In Memory of William Butler Yeats. These are the notable examples. Meditative poems like Thomas Gray's Elegy written in a country churchyard that deals with passing of men and the things they value are also included here. An important type of elegy is the pastoral elegy, which has a pastoral setting. A pastoral setting is a sort of rural setting where pastures are there, shepherds are there, and even shepherds they act as characters. So, where the mourner and the one he mourns are represented as shepherds. The form was originated by Greek poet Theocritus and was developed in European countries during the Renaissance. Notable English pastoral elegies are John Milton's Lycidas, P.B. Shelley's Adonis, and Matthew Arnold's Thyrsis. The pastoral elegies begin by invoking the muses, which are the three Greek sisters for poetry. Nature also joins in the mourning by the shepherds, and the poet raises questions about the justice of God and his providence, divine providence. The Greek term elegia, which is also the etymology for this word, it means lamentation. The term included epitaphs and sad and mournful songs. The poet in English elegies feels regret for the past or has a desire for the future. The elegies usually end in consolation, and a modern elegy for President Abraham Lincoln was written by Walt Whitman, which is titled "O Captain, My Captain." And we have another elegy by James Merrill, which is "The Changing Light at Sandover." And this elegy has been composed over the modern cruelties in Europe.